my MSQ roulette just popped. Time to get some sweet XP. Let's go. Oh no. Welcome back to another episode of Zippin Gaming. I'm Zippin, and today we're going to be talking the Praetorium. I've leveled 8 different jobs to max level, and by far the most efficient way for leveling right now is to do the daily roulette of the main story quest, which usually involves a visit to the Praetorium.
Such devastation!
So today I wanted to discuss a couple of strategies that would make the Praetorium a lot more sufferable and maybe a little bit more fun at the same time. One of the changes that my free company wanted to see was whenever you found out that you were entering the Praetorium, that Netflix would automatically load on your computer. And while that's funny, I think a couple of other options actually might make it a little bit more interesting. So the first and probably the more simpler of the two options is to make it a 4-man trust system. So have players be able to solo the content and go in with their allies from the Waking Sands, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, and use the trust system as a way to continue to enjoy and relish in the story that they've probably grown fond of. You could also leave it as a 4-man queuable daily roulette. An additional caveat to that change would be maybe to make the cutscene dialogue a part of the boss encounter. So where the bosses actually communicate by shouting out different things at your party. They might kind of get to the point by shouting out what they're trying to get across to you story-wise throughout the course of combat. But that's one option, would be to institute a trust system. Do I think that that would be an effective way of managing the solution? I don't think so. I think it's a band-aid. I think the trust system is great for people who don't really want to have to depend on a party to be able to clear content. But even people who are new to the game have said that the instances of the Praetorium are grindy. The second way the Praetorium could be changed is actually one of my favorite examples, and it was brought to me by a good friend of mine. His name is Black Lion, so I give him full credit for this idea. But he mentioned that it would be a great idea if they were to actually take the Praetorium and cut it into a couple of different instances. For example, making the whole of the Praetorium right up until you fight Gaius for the first time on the elevator. Make all of that a 4-player dungeon and spice up the Gaius fight just a little bit, so that the end boss feels like it has a little bit of guts to it, and there's actually some implications to failing. The other thing he mentioned, which I quite like, was once that Gaius fight is done, make the Ultima Weapon encounter and then the La Habrea encounter completely different, separate trials, 8-man trials, and really give it some teeth, like some guts to it. You know, make it like super intense, make the mechanics hit a little bit harder, make them feel like oh gosh, if I don't burn a tank cooldown, like there's a chance I might die if my healer doesn't pick me up. What that does is it does two things. It keeps the content relevant because there is still a challenge, but it also kind of sets the new player up for what they're going to be encountering whenever they face all those in-between trials that happen between ARR and Heavensward. Splitting up the content of the Praetorium is actually one of the best ideas that I've ever heard. But I want to know what you think, guys. So you at home, let me know in the comments how you would change the Praetorium to make it more fun, more enjoyable. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Remember to love one another out there, take care of one another out there, and as always, until I see you in the next episode, happy gaming.